Hey guys, it's me, Bluffamuchuck here, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of redstone. Now, just as a disclaimer, this is advanced redstones and command block information, so get ready. Now, basically, think about this as a way to travel between dimensions, time zones. What if we were to see what this area looks like in the future? Wouldn't that be cool? I think that'd be pretty cool. Now, I just want to reiterate that this is redstone. This is not camera trickery. So, yeah. Let's go to the future, see what this all looks like. All the cobblestone grew moss, and looks like the sign is kind of faded away, and yeah, the door's still there. Let's go back. Yep. Yeah, definitely was a change, right? Let's Now, we'll start getting into how this works right now, but I kind of want to do a little bit more of a demonstration as a proof of concept of what this can be used for. Now, this could be used for a really good puzzle map where you have to go around the map collecting time devices, where you try to collect them and solve puzzles doing it, where let's say that there's a block there, and in the other one there's a block up there. Well, let's go to the other one. Let's say in the other one there's a block up here, and that's how you have to get out. How are you going to get out? Well, you have to think dimensionally. When you go to this dimension, there's a block here, right? So what happens if you jump and kind of teleport? Of course, it would be a lot harder due to the fact. Yeah, see, there you go. I did it, and now I'm out. And then it's not there anymore. See, you could think of a lot of really cool stuff like that. Like, let's say that there's a chest in here with a redstone lamp on it, right? And you can see, let's get some glass. You can see in this time zone that there's a chest there, right? But you can't get to it. So how are you going to get to it? Well, you go to this time zone and you jump. And now you're inside of here. And you can get your redstone lamp and go back here. So I hope you're starting to see the potentials of this in an adventure map. Now, I would like to note that if you do use this in an adventure map, please mention me and Snoopy1500. That's all I ask. Now, as you can see, it is really cool. It does preserve momentum. If I were to time it right. Well, kind of. It almost does. Like, if I was to jump, yeah, I don't know. But it works really well. There are some glitches, though. I'll show you those now, but I do have fail-safes for them. Well, actually, first, let me show you how it works. Alright? We're done looking at that. Now, it doesn't actually change these blocks. There's two versions of this. One here, and one 100 blocks away from it in this direction. Now, we'll go over the redstone in a second. This is realm 1 here, from, you know, the original one, and then that one's the one in the future, which we were just in. Now you're probably, if you saw that, you're probably like, oh, that's how it works. But now you may be wondering, alright, is there any, where are the command blocks here? There actually are none. I would go under there to guarantee it to you, but I'm not going to go all the way down to the void to try to guarantee that to you. But there is no command blocks in this area. All of the command blocks that actually are the mechanism are right here. So this, if you've seen Snoopy 1500's video, is a lot more compact than his and advanced. Now, the initial setup for this is you need to create a dummy team, a dummy objective. To do so, you create scoreboard. So you go and use the scoreboard. You want to create an objective. You want to add the objective. You want to objective add. You name it. So we could say "ga" as it, and then the kind of variable, which would be dummy, which basically means that you can store information in it by hand rather than it having set information. Like if you, instead of dummy you did like kills, it would track how many kills, but dummy allows you to change the score yourself. And then the show name would be Meep, right? So if you do that, it'll create a new objective called ga, and so now there's scoreboard objectives, set display, and then you'd want to do sidebar, and that'll put it on the sidebar when something is put in it. And to add somebody to that team, you'd want to do scoreboard. So you'd want to add your players to a team. So you want to do scoreboard teams, add, and then you'd want to add a team to the dummy variable, the ga dummy variable. So we'll call the team high. So scoreboard. So now that you have a team in your objective, you can do players. Scoreboard teams. Yeah, join. And then you want to write down the team, which we decided was high. So now added 1 player to the team high, which is me. And this is just initial setup, so you'd have to do all this in advance. You could have command blocks do this in the beginning of your map or whatever. And now you want to do scoreboard players a name. No, scoreboard players add. Yeah, scoreboard players add the name of the player and the name of the dummy variable, and then I don't want to do add, I forgot, it's set. So I want to set my thing as 2. Yeah. So now if I do the set display sidebar, and then I do the name of the thing as ga, it'll put ga up there, but remember we put the display name as meep, and it shows 2 because I just put 2 on there. I could do 1, I could do 100, you know, basically you can adjust that. Now the only reason you would add a team, add teams, is so that if you want to make multiplayer support, you'd want each person to be on a different team, and you would have to, yeah, like I'll explain later how to get it so that you can do multiple players. But right now I'm gonna set the sidebar back to dimensions, which shows what realm your player is currently supposed to be in. Of course you wouldn't be flying around like this, and you'd just be within the confines of the realm. But let's get to how this works. Each of these command blocks, as you can see, has a clock on them, because these are the 2 main command blocks. This one, this one and that one are the main command blocks that do most of the work. and they just need to be on a this clock. I don't know what they would call that, what normal people would, like professionals would call that. But basically, let's go over what they're doing. So this command block is gonna set the player's realm number to something different if they get, like, so when you get the XP, it changes your realm variable on the right. So if I was to get 1 level, it would change that number 2 to 1, that dummy variable. And to do that, if you remember when we type in the bar here, we would, to like change that number, you can just type in like 1, right? And it would change it to 1. So basically you want to do that in command blocks. Now, how do you do that in command blocks? Well, let's get into that right now. So let's start off at the beginning here. Scoreboard. So you do scoreboard players. That's the normal beginning of it. Set. Now you want, this is, you know, scoreboard player set is to set the set a player variable to a specific thing. At P, so we're gonna set the player who has 1 level, which is L equals 1, and the minimum level has to equal 1. So if the player has level 1 and he's in dimension 1, score underscore dimension is how, if you use the score underscore and then the name of your variable, either kills, dummy, whatever else there is, score underscore that equals a number. Like, as you can see, since it's you can, like, if you wanted to sense when somebody had 300 kills, you would do score underscore kills equals 300 in here, but I'm doing score underscore dimension equals 1. So if he's level 1 and his dimension is 1, and the dimension min, I'm not sure exactly why you have to add that in there, but it is actually kind of important. I don't know, don't ask me about that one. But the minimum, the number has to be at least 1. Then it will, so if the person's level 1, is in dimension 1, it will teleport you, it will change your variable, your dummy variable, to dimension 2. So let's just go over what this command block does again, just for good measure. If you're level 1 and you're in dimension 1, it'll set your dimension number on the sidebar to 2. Right. So now that we've got that, we can move on. So this will check every time this clock goes by if I'm in dimension 1 and my XP is number 1. Since it's not, it doesn't do anything. If it is, then both of these comparators will go off. The first one here will TP at a tilde negative 100 tilde tilde. Now, in command block syntax, what the tilde key does is, let me show you. So if I do TP myself, tilde tilde tilde, it will TP me to the exact spot I was standing, right? But if I do tilde plus 5, it will put me 5 blocks in that direction, which is backwards. So what's happening is, if this is successful, so if it changes me to the other dimension, it will TP me 100 blocks that direction. So if you think about it, that means if it changes me from dimension 2, if it changes me from dimension 1 to dimension 2, it's moving me from there 100 blocks over there, and it's taking whatever coordinates am at. So it's taking that and just subtracting 100. It's taking wherever I'm standing, subtracting 100, keeping the same y and keeping the same z. So this is the x, y, and z. So basically, it's keeping your direction you're facing in everything. It's just moving you 100 blocks in one direction. and as well as when you're changed to dimension 2, it teleporting you from there to there, it also activates this command block, which subtracts 100 levels from your player. This could technically be at A here if you want it to be single player, but I'll show you the reasons. I'll show you multiplayer support in a moment. So yeah, and then once this this goes off, there's a 1 tick delay before it gives you 13 XP, and the reason it gives you 13 XP is because that puts you at a point where you only need 1 more bottle of enchanting to go up a level, rather than the normal 3 to go up a level. So that's why you'll see the level 13. 14 might be a better number than 13, but I'm not sure. And you'll see a very similar setup over here, except for this one is testing to see if you're in dimension number 2, and it'll switch you to dimension 1, and rather than subtracting 100, it will add 100. So if you're over there, it will add 100. And then it also goes to the same command block, and yeah. So that is how that works in a nutshell. But now you may be asking, how do you do multiplayer? Well, you need one of these for each player, and each player would need to be in a different team. You remember how I put myself in what team? Yeah, I joined high, right? So you'd want there to be one person on each team, and one of these for each team. And for this main syntax here, you'd want it to also check to see if the person is, you'd add a comma here, and you'd want to see like team, I'm not sure what the syntax for this is, but it's like probably like team underscore something. Like I'm not sure what the syntax is, but you'd want to add a check to see what team. Actually, let me check that right now and I'll be back. Alright, I figured it out. So you would do, you would add a comma team, not in caps, team equals high. So the person would have to be in team high for it to change their dimension, and they so it would only take the player from the correct team to change dimensions. And you'd want to do this for basically anything on this pod that has a if statement, like this XP minus 100 levels. You'd want to add team equals high, and for each pod of these you'd have to have a different team to add multiplayer support. Now, at the beginning, you'd have to do all that team adding and everything for the people using command blocks. I'm not going to show how to do that because that's pretty simple. You just basically, instead of me typing in all these commands before, you do it in command blocks. Now, you may be saying, you said there was bugs. What are the bugs? Well, you may be wondering, so since it says realm number 1, I'll go to this one. You may be wondering what happens if you throw a multiple. Well, you'll see that I went over the level, number 1, and it's not doing anything. It's not teleporting me. So the way to solve that is I have a 1 clock over here, a 1 tick clock, that when it's powered, this over here, this circuit, when it's powered by a 1 tick pulse, it'll take 100 levels away from any player that has 2 levels. So the second a player gets 2 levels, it'll get subtracted, and then every player will be given 13 levels if that succeeded. Now, remember, as I said before, if you want to have multiplayer support for this, what you would have to do for this is you'd want there to be, in this conditional, you'd want to say team equals high, right? And then over here, instead of doing at A, you'd want it to be at P and then team equals hi, right? And you get that. But since it's single player, I only did at A. So basically, if you ever get 2 levels, it will subtract any levels that you might have gained in between the time you got 2 levels and now. So 100 levels is just a good number to do. I don't know. That's just random. It could be anything larger than 2. And then it will give you just enough to almost level up again. So if you ever go over 2, it will automatically bring you back down. So now I'll show you. Yeah, see, level minimum is 2, so if you have anything higher than 2, it will bring you back down to just about 1 again, and I'm not going to try that right now. Yeah, so let's go over here. So you'll see now if I try going above 2, it'll just bring me back down. Yeah, and it kind of glitched out and I'm outside. Now, there is a potential problem that is possible. If you ever are in a situation where you're getting it's randomly, like, okay, let me go on like this is all gonna be imaginary because I can't really explain it, but let's say that you are still at 1 level. Like, what if you get exactly 1 level more after it after you here, let me destroy this redstone over here so I can try to demonstrate it. So, like, when it teleports me before it takes the XP away, let's toss some XP right in the corner here. Right, so there's XP in both the corners of the realm, the different dimensions. Look what happens. See how if you look on the sidebar, my realm number keeps changing like that? So I demonstrated it correctly. You see how it keeps changing from that to that, 1 to 2? That's caused when you still have 1 level and it teleported you in quick succession. It can't, because since both of them are true, within like 1 tick of each other, these both stay on, and it can't turn off this, so it doesn't subtract the levels from you. You're kind of stuck. You can't teleport anymore, right? So what I did is I have 2 test 4s. So test 4 if a player is in 2, in the 2nd dimension, and a test 4 if the person is in the 1st dimension. If that is the case, you'll see that both these comparators are on. Since it's switching so quickly, it doesn't have time to turn them off before they turn back on again. So they're constantly on, and these torches are off. Now what that... Oh, sorry. No, I'm explaining this wrong. Yeah, this has to be on here. When that happens, you'll note that when they're being flashed like that, they'll for a second both these torches will be out, and then this will be on, and it will take away 100 levels, making sure you don't have that 1 extra level anymore, and it'll give you just enough for the next level. So these are fail safes, and of course you would need this one. You would need to do team specifics again for each player that you want to add. So I hope you get the whole multiplayer thing too, because that's kind of hard to explain with single player. Just basically any command block that's specific to a player, like taking away XP, giving XP, teleporting people, you want to make sure that you specify what team that person is on. And you want to make sure each person is on a separate team. I can't reiterate that anymore. So let's see. This will probably be an example. See, it flashed back and forth for 2 seconds there, but now it's back to normal because we have that failsafe thing over there. So yeah, that's important if you don't want people to be able to glitch it out. It's actually really it's a really good failsafe too, because I haven't found a time where I have ever glitched it out where I'm in the wrong realm after picking up excess experience, or I've never been in a position where I've been higher than level 1, and I've also never been in a position where the numbers are switching constantly on me because of those fail-safes. So those are important if you want to get a map running with this. That does nothing. That was just testing stuff. But this is the mechanism. You need one for each team you want for each player you want to create. Make sure you do it right, and I hope to see some maps with this, because that'd be really awesome. This is a really long video, I'm sure, but I think it's really informative, so I hope to see you guys all next time. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys on Thursday. Goodbye.